Why did US
the
ask
scale of the
Iran
destruction which was
ceasefire?
caused by these Iranian missiles, which now this report is suggesting were older missiles. Iran did not even resort to its newer range of missiles. Speaking at the NATO summit recently, earlier in the week, Trump said that Iran and Israel, they both fought like hell, and it wasn't easy to stop them.
They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes, then it's easier to stop them.
Even apart from this, Trump again had mentioned specifically for Iran that Iran fought like hell. Now, this brings us to an interesting question. Why did Iran hold back its newer, more powerful and lethal missiles? Why did it only resort to its earlier and older missiles, which also caused a lot of destruction? Iranian missile arsenal consists of ballistic missiles like the Sejil-2, Fateh-1 and Khyber-Shekan, which have a range of somewhere close to 2,000 kilometers, and they carry payloads of up to 700 kilograms. Reports suggest that Iran may actually be preparing for a long, protracted war with Israel and intends to gradually introduce its diverse missile arsenal if this battle was to be prolonged. That is what Iran seems to have been planning for and preparing for. While it remains unclear whether the scale and scope of damage unleashed by these Iranian missiles pushed the US to seek a ceasefire, what is undisputed at this point is that Iran managed to evade those famed Israeli air defenses, even with older first-generation missiles. And it may have far more lethal and newer age missiles in its arsenal. Shedding light on why the US may have asked Iran for a truce. Now, as per this report, 70% of the missiles used by Iran during these 12 days were older generation missiles, while its deadlier next generation missiles saw minimal use. The report states that Iran mostly used Ghadar and Imad missiles against Israel. Ghadar, to give you a brief understanding of what the missiles are capable of, it is an improved version of the Shahab 3 medium-range ballistic missile, which has been in Iranian service since 2003. The missile comes in 3 variants and has a range between 1350 to 1950 kilometers and carries a payload of 650 kilograms. Then on the other hand, the Imad ballistic missile is an upgraded variant of the Ghadar and comes with enhanced guidance and accuracy. It was commissioned in late 2015. And the Imad missiles have a range of 1700 kilometers and carry a payload of 750 kilograms. Now, even these older missiles demonstrated remarkable accuracy and penetrated Israeli air defenses, causing widespread damage and destruction across Israel. Now, from capital Tel Aviv to Haifa, Ramat Gan and Beersheba, several Israeli cities were witness to Iranian strikes, reducing buildings to a clump of twisted metal bars and debris, driving home the power of Iranian missiles.
On June 13th. Now, as per the reports, IDF's Intelligence Directorate has also identified that Iran planned to triple the rate of its ballistic missile production. The IDF predicted that Iran was building a new facility for mass-producing ballistic missiles, which would increase its stockpile to 8,800 within 2 years and to 10,000 missiles sometime in 2028. Now, this is a big number, but it is lesser than what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claimed on Wednesday. He had said that Iran could have reached 20,000 ballistic missiles if Israel had not attacked it now. Well, as per reports, the IDF had determined if Iran were to have close to 9,000 ballistic missiles, this would pose an existential threat to Israel. The report also cited top IDF sources that said that Tehran had about 400 ballistic missile launches, but about half of those were destroyed during the 12-day war. Now, this is being touted as the reason behind the drop in the volume of Iran's average missile salvos by the end of the war. Israel has estimated the cost of damages incurred during its 12-day war with Iran at nearly $3 billion. Now, these funds will be needed both to repair missile-hit buildings and pay compensation to local businesses. As per a Bloomberg report, calculations by the Israeli Finance Ministry and tax body indicate the extent to which Iran broke through Israel's defenses during nearly the 2 weeks of rocket fire.
For Israel, the threat is real. The Gather Aegis multi-warhead design means a single missile can split in flight, targeting several locations at once and overwhelming even the most advanced interceptors. This is a leap beyond Iran's previous arsenal, solid and liquid-fueled missiles like the Khaybar Shekan, Emad and Fatah-1, all of which were also deployed in this operation. The IRGC's tactics are evolving rapidly, mixing missile salvos with coordinated drone swarms to probe and exploit every weakness in Israeli defenses. For 12 days, Israeli Air Force launched multiple rounds of attacks. After destroying Iranian air defenses, destroyed IDF claimed total air superiority. Israel has claimed to destroyed multiple missile launching sites, along with command and control units. Despite the relentless bombardment, Iranian armed forces have continued to launch multiple rounds of missile attacks every day. The relentless bombardment has severely weakened, but Iran's missile program is a force to be reckoned with, capable of delivering death and destruction.